Okay, picture this. You're at the grocery store, finally made it to the checkout line, about to pay, and bam, your kid decides it's meltdown time because you said no to the candy bar.
Oh, been there. It's like they save up all their energy for that exact moment.
Right. And we're supposed to be calm, cool, and collected while wrangling a tiny human who's decided the world is ending. So today we're taking a deep dive into how to help our kids, and let's be honest, ourselves, manage those anger explosions.
Absolutely. It's about giving them and us tools for life, not just surviving a trip to the store.
Exactly. And one of the first things we came across in our research was this idea of triggers, like what sets a kid off.
Right. And it can be so specific to the kid. Right. So for one kid, it might be being hungry, and you know it's almost dinner time, they're getting hangry. But for another, it could be that toy they really wanted is out of stock. It's like their own personal red flags.
So it sounds like the first step is really about observation. Like, are there any patterns to their outbursts?
Exactly. And it's not about playing detective 24/7, but just kind of tuning in. Like, does my kid always lose it when they're overtired? Or maybe when they haven't had enough unstructured playtime?
It's like becoming an emotional sleuth. And speaking of emotions, one of the sources talked about the importance of helping kids actually label what they're feeling.
Yeah, that's huge. Because, I'm mad can mean so many things. Are you frustrated, disappointed,
Yeah.
embarrassed?
It's like, how can we help them if we don't even know what's going on under the hood?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And teaching kids to pinpoint those feelings, it actually helps them start to regulate themselves. It's like hitting the pause button before things escalate.
It makes total sense, giving them the vocabulary for those big emotions. But what about when the anger's already bubbling over? We've all heard of those classic calming techniques, deep breaths, counting to 10.
Right. But have you ever stopped to think about why those techniques actually work? It's actually pretty cool. When we get angry, our bodies go into that fight or flight mode, all systems go. Those calming techniques, they're like little hacks that interrupt that stress response and give our brains a chance to catch up.
So it's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly. It's like, hold on, nervous system, let's chill out for a second.
Okay, I love that. So it's not just about suppressing the anger, but actually shifting their physical state. Now, another thing we came across was the idea of a designated calm down space. But how do we make that appealing and not like a timeout corner?
Right. We don't want them thinking they're in trouble for having feelings. It should be their safe haven, a place they actually want to go to chill out. So think cozy beanbag chairs, soft lighting, maybe some sensory items like a weighted blanket or a squishy stress ball. The key is that it feels calming and inviting, not like a punishment.
I love that. It's like creating a little emotional first aid kit for them.
Exactly. And you can even get them involved in creating it, make it their own.
That's such a good idea. Now, alongside creating this calm down corner and teaching them these techniques, our sources also talked about the importance of really listening to our kids when they're angry.
Oh, that's huge. Not just waiting for our turn to talk, but really trying to see things from their perspective, even if we don't agree with it. Feeling heard and validated. That itself can be incredibly calming for anyone, especially kids.
It's about building that trust and connection, right? Like,
Right.
hey, I see you, I hear you, and I'm here for you, even when you're having a tough time.
Exactly. And one thing that really stood out to me in the research was this idea of role-playing challenging situations with our kids.
Oh, yeah, like a dress rehearsal for those real life moments.
Exactly. You can even make it fun, let them take turns being the grown-up. And of course, we can't forget the power of modeling those healthy anger management skills ourselves. Remember, kids are always watching.
So true. It's like they say, do as I do, not as I say.
Right. They pick up on everything.
Now, on a more serious note, one thing we definitely want to touch on is recognizing when professional help might be needed. Like, at what point does anger become something more serious?
That's such an important point. If those anger outbursts are happening really frequently, if they're really intense, like involving physical aggression towards others or themselves, or if the anger is starting to affect their daily life, their schoolwork, their friendships, that's definitely a sign it's time to reach out to a professional.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to seek help and advocate for your child's well-being. Because ultimately, it's not about fixing kids. It's about giving them and ourselves these valuable skills for navigating life's ups and downs.
It really makes you think, when was the last time you really sat with your own anger?
Ooh, that's a good one to ponder. And for our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into all sorts of fascinating topics. We'll see you next time.